All right, collective energy reading for the earth signs. All right, Holy Spirit, let us know what messages you have for the collective. So the first card that we got coming out is There's No Planet B. And this is giving me throat chakra energy. Your throat chakra could be very significant. And this is giving me all or nothing. There's something that you are very solid on. We got doing nothing is fine too. Okay, so this is giving me stability. You know, I feel like for some of you, you're in a space where you're cool with things. You know, you're content with where you are. This is a past energy. You know, you've been in a space where you're satisfied. You know, there's no planet B. Where you are is where you're meant to be, is what this is giving me. Holy Spirit, what's the current challenge? What's the current energy? We got let's be crazy. And confirming let's be crazy, we have no justification needed. All right, so this is giving me letting loose. All right, so for some of you, you may be in a space where, you know, you're ready to pop out and show on some Kendrick Lamar. You know, you're ready to stunt. You're ready to get out of your comfort zone and, you know, have a good time without any justification, you know, without any need to explain yourself. It's just like now is the time to let your light shine and to be seen in whatever way that resonates with you. But this is giving me having some fun. You know, beating to the rhythm of your own drum. Going from a space where, you know, you're cool, you're chilling, you're content, you're satisfied with things. You kind of just been maybe keeping your head down, focused on your money, focusing on your finances, your well-being, being committed, staying dedicated to your responsibilities. And now, you know, this is giving me, it's playtime. It's playtime. For some of you, you may feel like it's playtime for you. We got, I'm not always an angel. Coming out in reverse in the future position. We got, what if you could send your problems away today? Roses could be significant for some of you. All right, this is giving me ascension. From being on chill to having fun to ascending. You know, I feel like in between this time of getting out of your comfort zone and making some inspired changes, it's going to help you to release some pent-up stress, some pent-up energy. You know, for some of you, you may feel like there's something you just need to let go of. Take it as it resonates. You know, this could be that it's just time. It's just time for you to unwind. And as a result, with this I'm not an angel coming out in reverse, I feel like there's going to be an ascension that's happening. You know, whether you have some new inspired energy, some new positivity that makes you feel more vibrant, or you go through a healing. But I feel like there's an ascension that's happening in this space of letting your hair down and having fun. All right, Holy Spirit, confirm there's no planet B. All right, we got surprise. Yeah, so I feel like there's something that's gonna come in or has come in that catches you off guard. You know, something that you aren't expecting. Confirm, let's be crazy. We got, I've got superpowers. And for some of you, this is an activation. You know, I feel like the stepping out of your comfort zone, the having fun, the playtime is liberating you, and it's causing certain things to come online. You know, I feel like when we fixate on things, that's when energy becomes stagnant, but energy is freeing up for you, and it's allowing, I feel like for some of you, your gifts to go through a shift. And we got guilt-free coming on. I'm not always an angel in reverse. So there's a releasing of guilt here as well. For some of you, you could have been in a space where you've been so overwhelmed by doing the right thing, with being responsible, with being focused, with keeping your head on tight, you know, with your routine, whatever it is. And now there's a transition of new inspiration and elevation for you. Holy Spirit, confirm surprise. All right, we got you are here and game. All right, so there's a cycle that's closing for some of you. I feel like for some of you, you're entering into a new dimension. You know, for some of you, you're breaking out of a matrix. You're breaking out of the matrix, the mindset that may be wrapped up, that has you maybe living in a certain limitation, a limitation here on earth. And that's what's coming to a close. And there's gonna be a surprise, an epiphany that takes place that shifts you into this new reality, into this new dimension of your superpowers. Holy Spirit, confirm I've got superpowers. We've got stop complaining. Underneath, I've got superpowers. All right, so I feel like for some of you, you know, you may have been in a space of doing your routine of, you know, being focused, keeping your head down and focusing on your money, your responsibilities, etc. And it was starting to get to you. You know, it was starting to weigh you down. You could have been also picking up on other people's drama, other people complaining. Or this could also be your energy where you were complaining about the need to do something new, the need to ignite a new passion for you. And so that's what you're doing. You know, you may get an invitation to go somewhere. You may make a reservation to go somewhere, to take a vacation or do something to get out of this space of what feels like limitation. But the next card we have coming out is memories comfort us. All right, and with this coming out underneath guilt-free, I feel like this is you liberating yourself from the past, liberating yourself from the limitation of same old, take it as it resonates. But if you felt like you were in a box, like life is all about responsibility, life is all about commitments, or doing what's right, in which, in a sense, that's necessary. I feel like your life is coming into a more of a balance, and you're going to have some type of epiphany that pushes you into an ascension, where your gifts are coming online because you're not so fixated in a certain state of mind, and so things are in flow, and it's allowing the energy to flow in, and it's allowing inspiration to come in, and a healing essentially to take place as well. All right, Holy Spirit. The last two cards we have here is cool, relax, everything is fine, and let's get out of our comfort zone. All right, so I feel like this is confirmation. You're changing your perspective on how you see your life and your reality from a space of gratitude and relaxation. No stress, no pressure, and you're getting out there and you're getting inspired. You're lighting your fire. You're lighting a new passion in your life, and you're no longer going to be in a space of limitation. It's going to be a space of inspiration. At the bottom of the deck, we have close your curtains, close your eyes, and sleep. Turn your tongue 7 times before speaking. And I am always a child. Underneath that, we have spread the love, which came out in reverse. And so what this is giving me is, for some of you, there's been a lack of love. There's been a lack of flow when it comes to love. Because love exists. It's just that sometimes we're distracted and we don't always see it, or we don't always embrace it the way that we need to or we could. And so with that coming out in reverse, with I am always a child, I feel like this is you returning to your essence. You returning to your inner child, healing your inner child, and connecting to your innocence, that space of fun, that space of freedom, And with turn your tongue 7 times in your mouth before speaking, after I am always a child, I feel like this is not overthinking things. I feel like for some of you, that's where the blockages may be coming in. Overthinking your life, having too much on your mind, feeling like you always got to keep things together. You may be the mastermind, you may be the brains in your family or in your relationship, or in your company, your business, whatever it is that you're running. But I feel like that's what's been running the love off. That's what's been maybe running you down, is running your wheels too much, and that's what's being put to rest, is this mindset of overthinking and not allowing the love to flow. I feel like there's going to be a new flow of love, a new flow of inspiration and connection with your inner child for some of you. And this mindset of overdoing it, overthinking, fixating or limitation is what you're putting to rest to.